What is going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 134 of Littleroot Lessons. As always, I'm your host, Carter Noble, joined by our fantastic co-host, Carl Wilkin. What's up, dude?
I've been playing a lot of Unite. That's what I've been doing. The Unite Shuffle is getting ready to start in a couple weeks, and teams should be announced, hopefully, by the time this goes live. And I'm waiting on that.
I know you've been pretty excited to get it started and actually play and everything.
Yeah.
Pending no natural disaster at work or anything.
Yeah.
You're gonna make it work, and even if there is, they can figure it out for a day.
They'll figure it out. Yeah, that's the thing. They'll figure it out. It'll be fine.
Yeah, you have other more important plans to take care of.
Exactly. But we're talking VGC, which is weird after the last 3 weeks of not really touching it at all.
For sure. So today we're going to be talking about Spikemuth Cup as well as a little bit of Series 13.
Figured we'd probably start with 13, look at it for a hot second. We've heard that it's really cool and people like it, and then we've also heard that it's the worst format ever and nobody likes it. So it'll be fun to look and see what's good and bad there.
I am very much in the latter. It is by far one of the least fun formats I've ever played, and that's why I don't play it anymore.
Which the only reason we're covering both of these is because we've reached the point in the LDL Team Draft League where we're playing these formats, and so we thought it'd be kind of nice to talk about it a little bit, look at it, and initiate some discussion again on at least on the server VGC wise of what's good, what's bad, and things like that.
Yeah. So as we just kind of jump in here, I have Pikalytics open, which does have cart data for Series 13.
Yeah.
Which that is basically the only data we have access to for anything we're going to be talking about today.
Yeah, unfortunately. A lot of what Spikemuth is just going through and playing it. Like, that's the only way you can really learn the format is just jump in and start playing, start grinding teams and things like that. Whereas Series 13 is taking a lot of just like the very powerful stuff from Series 12 and then mashing them all together and doing stuff that way.
If it works, it's not stupid, right?
Exactly. I remember when we played a couple Series 13 events we hosted. I was playing with like Volcanion and things like that. Yeah, none of those are super popular. I was right about Yveltal being good though. Yveltal is the best support restricted in the game, probably.
It's very good. Actually looking here at this data, it is currently number 3, which I'm not really surprised to see.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of doing the same thing it always has done. It's just like punch people and when in doubt set Tailwind, and when in doubt even more, you have you have access to Snarl, Taunt, you have Foul Play, Heat Wave is coverage. You can be physical and have dual Wing Beat. But
Rock Slide.
You probably don't want to be physical just because Intimidate still is a thing that exists, as well as you lose Oblivion Wing, which is absurd. So there's a little bit of a take it or leave it kind of sitting there. But
the fact that the Series 13 is still a max format too means that Dynamax Yveltal gets to set max Airstream. You get to set up your Kyogres with max Darkness.
Do you know how long it's been since I've Dynamaxed a Pokemon?
Whenever you recorded Series 5 for...
Oh yeah, I guess I actually do it every week. But
yeah.
But I haven't laddered in a month.
Oh, it's been a lot longer for me. I've been playing everything else.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. I really, really tried to like Series 13. Just this is super unique. You get to play with all these Pokemon you've never got to play with before. Oh, it's really overpowered and I don't like it. Got it.
Yeah, Series 13 has always felt, at least in my opinion, that if you get behind, it's really hard to get back ahead.
Yeah,
right?
Very, very much so.
Once you lose that any kind of advantage you have, you're just done.
And I've kind of mentioned this in the Galar Goodbye series that we've been doing. I really like limited dex formats. I like the power level of those kind of formats.
Yeah.
And that's why, I love RTT. It's the best draft format I've ever played because it takes all the good Pokemon and says, no,
you can't play with that one. Go away.
And I'm okay with that. Exactly. I much prefer when things aren't, when there's not a thing that is clearly the best thing going on.
Exactly.
And, that you can make the argument of limited dex formats have that same problem. Yeah, but they also have unique answers.
You can't just slap Incineroar on every team, right?
Look at Series 2 as a perfect example. Oh, Togekiss is really good. Yeah, but then you get to play Durant, or Duraludon.
Duraludon, steel types back then weren't set in stone.
Raichu. These are Pokemon that just you don't hear of anymore because you need a bulky you need a steel type. Here's Zacian or Magearna.
Yeah.
Sometimes both.
All the time both. Let's be honest here. You play both all the time. They both fill different roles on teams, and you want to play both of them all the time.
Have we come to the conclusion that just Fairy Steel is just any Pokemon with that typing is just automatically overpowered?
Mega Mawile, Zacian.
I guess regular Mawile is also just not very good, but
that's because Mega Mawile, the Mega Mawile had actually decent stuff going for it. You got more stats
True.
And things like that. Whereas regular Mawiles, I think only base totals 425.
It's not very good, no.
And that's the reason Mawile's not good.
Well, look. You're not wrong.
It's still Steel Fairy. It has Intimidate. The problem is its base total stats is garbage. And you're playing against base 500, base 600 stats, so you're going in at a disadvantage. And that's why Mega Mawile was much better.
Yep, very, very true.
But yeah, Steel Fairy, best defensive and offensive typing in the game. Just throwing it out there.
It's dumb. I hate it. I don't. I actually think it's very good.
I think it's right behind it is Water Fairy is the next best defensive and offensive typing.
Water Fairy.
So
just Primarina?
Primarina, Tapu Fini, Azumarill.
Oh, I forgot Fini.
And Azumarill.
And Azu.
Yeah. Which we're gonna have Azu.
Great.
We're gonna have Azu in the next in Scarlet.
I know.
That's
so
super
excited.
excited. That'll be fun. But back to Series 13.
Correct.
Fun fact: you don't need to. If you have a Magearna for your restricteds, you're fine.
Yeah, basically.
If you have all your restricteds and you have Magearna, you can play Series 13 for the most part.
Yeah, basically. That's the conversation. All right, have a good night, guys.
Yep. I think I was telling you. Magearna is number 7 ranked overall.
Yeah, and from the games I played, that seems absurdly low.
I think the only reason it's low is because right on top of it is Kyogre, Zacian Crowned, Yveltal, Calyrex Shadow, Groudon. The big 5 restricteds we're used to seeing all the time in Series 12. And then the best support Pokemon in the game in Whimsicott. What are you gonna do here?
Be sad. That's usually what I do.
Your teams are literally Kyogre, Zacian, Yveltal, and then it's Whimsicott, Magearna, Calyrex Shadow, or Whimsicott, Magearna, Incineroar, or something to that effect, usually. There's also Kyogre, Zacian, Calyrex Shadow, Whimsicott, Regieleki, and some other stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So the long and the short of it is Kyogre, Zacian are the top 2. You're going to have those on your team, or at least see them a lot of the time. You'll see people who don't have that stuff, which they're usually doing something a little bit more unique and a little cheeky. But the next highest mythical is Zeraora at 17.
Which Zeraora is also really, really cool. It is a Pokemon that I was very excited to play with, and then it obviously it's cool when it does its thing, You know, obviously you're absurdly fast thanks to like Fake Out. You have Volt Absorb, so like you get to be able to switch in on opposing Zeraora and or Eliki. You know, if like opposing Kyogres are running Thunder, you're able to switch in on it. Just a ton of things that are really unique that make it where Zeraora has a lot working for it.
Mm.
Downside,
you're a Zeraora.
that's like the conversation. A lot of working for you. Downside, everything else.
Yeah. I will say Zeraora's got one of the coolest move pools. I think if it had like fighting attached to its typing, I think it'd be a whole lot more better.
Mm-hmm.
You'd see it played everywhere because you can just blow up Incineroar.
Yep.
The next highest after that is Victini at 18, and that's strictly because it can just like it's the highest HP Final Gambit or whatever it is user.
Which like Final Gambit is interesting.
You pair it next to Magearna, like that's literally its job.
Yeah, that's the gimmick. Blow itself up. Cool. Awesome. This was fun for everybody.
Yep. But yeah, outside of that, Series 13 is fairly boring in my opinion. Like, you're not going to see a whole lot of innovation in a format that's not being played a ton outside of strictly like Sword and Shield ladder.
Yep.
On the flip side of that, Spikemuth has everything going for it. It's the hot new thing. Everybody loves this format, or say they love this format, and then there's people who also hate this format. So I feel like we're just talking about Series 13 again. It's just like nobody can like the same thing apparently. Like if you like one, you can't like the other, or vice versa.
So here's what I will say about Spikemuth. I haven't touched it. I have genuinely no opinion about it. That being said, the games that I have watched of it are very, very cool.
Yes.
RTT this season is doing a Spikemuth-esque style of, no Dynamax, essentially.
Yeah.
We took all the good Pokemon, banned them, took the Pokemon that were slightly worse than everything else, just like power crept it even more, banned those, and then said, alright, well, I guess we're also going to take away Dynamax.
Yeah.
But you can have Policy back, so it's okay.
Yeah. I think Policy is good in the lower power formats like that one. Policy in Spikemuth specifically is probably not going to be as good.
No, probably not.
But like in RTT specifically, I think Weakness Policy is a very strong item because there's not a whole lot of just things getting O-code back and forth.
Yep.
But Spikemuth is probably the inverse of what we got going on for Series 13. There's a lot of innovation, a lot of exploration. There's no, like, this is the best thing you can be doing 100% of the time, which harkens back to, like, the earlier formats, which I think part of this is there's no, like, official ladder. There's no official data gathered. You're not seeing numbers anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just the wild, wild west again of Pokemon. It's just like you can play whatever, and eventually you'll figure out what you like, what you don't like, and what's good and what's not, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, all right, well, this was really cool.
Yeah, this felt fine. I'm gonna keep playing this. Oh, yeah. I ran into something that beats me. I probably won't run into that again in another 100 matches. That's just kind of how this works.
And like that's why I think specifically for like this format, playing like best of threes I think is very interesting because you're able to. I think it really showcases not only like team building strengths, but also really gets to showcase like player strengths as well.
Yeah.
Of saying, okay, well, I'm clearly never gonna run into this again. Like this is something that only this player has played that I've seen so far. How do I appropriately address that?
Yeah.
How do I deal with, they have Scarf on their, I don't know.
Landorus Eye.
Yeah, it's like, okay, sure. Now, what does that get to? Okay, what do I have that can actually take a hit and or outspeed it and pressure on it that way? Just like making these micro adjustments very quickly.
Yep. Um,
And like I said, I think it can really make a difference as to who is able to really showcase their strengths in this format.
yeah, this is more of a stronger player wins games rather than a good lead or like getting ahead will win you the game, because these games aren't as oppressive, I feel like, as
Mm-hmm.
Series 13 games. Like, Magirna is not going to be sitting there across from you at +2 or +3. You're not having to worry about that. You do have to
Yep.
worry about people setting up still. Like, that is something that's better to do in these in these non-max formats. Things like Swords Dance and Iron Defense and things like that are still going to be there and be good. I don't remember like if anybody's played Series 10 or in the last, since it's rotated out. Things like Elandris Eye are going to be very, very good. Your Sheer Force Pokemon are actually decent
Mm-hmm.
again, because you're not having to max them to do stuff.
Very true, which is very, very relevant.
Yep. Um, my one complaint is Spikemuth left in like Urshifu, Regieleki, all the non-restricted legends, and I'm not a fan of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Like if you just kicked out all of those, like Spikemuth original rules way back when they did the Spikemuth Cup event, was literally Sword and Shield decks. If it had a dex number, you could play it. If it didn't have a dex number, it was gone.
Which I think that's really awesome. I think that's awesome.
What that did is that eliminated all of the Dynamax adventures Pokemon, anything you could get from there. So like your Cocos, your Tapus, your legendary beasts, your Zapdos, and all that, they're gone. That also eliminated the entire Alola starter and Hoenn starters from the format. They were gone.
Darn. Carl, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm very upset.
So it would have been an interesting format without those things, but if you're going to just design a fun format to play, the easier the rule set is to implement, the better. And so not having to worry about banning this and that is fine.
Agreed.
Fun fact, Urshifu's still good.
Hard to argue that one.
Regieleki's still good. Not
Hard
as
to argue
good.
that one.
There's no crazy like water type sitting across from you all the time that's going to water spout your face. So Regieleki isn't super played anymore, in my opinion. Like, you could play other things and be fine. Like Zapdos is fine.
The other thing there is, Eleki is still able to outspeed like everything because it is absurdly fast.
Yeah.
But things like you have like Cinderace, which can be useful.
Yeah.
And, be able to put on a ton of offensive pressure against it as well. And depending on when Eleki comes out, you can put on like decent pressure against it because you have like Choice Scarf. I believe with Scarf you can outspeed. Am I just making that up?
I'm not sure exactly.
It has been so long since I've looked at Cinderace. Let me do some
Cinderace
math here.
is base 188.
We're 119 base speed, which at plus speed gives us 188, which then says we get to 282. So yes, we can.
Well, there you go. There's the answer to your question.
The downside is like with Libero, we're locked into whatever whatever attack we're using.
Yeah.
So probably not like super ideal. But you also have like Cinderace can put on a ton of pressure. Surprisingly, against like Tapu Fini as well, because you have like Gunk Shot here, and it's crazy that Poison is a very good offensive typing in Spikemuth because the amount of fairies that are running around that aren't Steel type.
Yeah, right. When you take away the best like pairing in the game, it becomes pretty obvious that hey, let's just run poison type moves. Naganadel is really good.
It's very fast as well.
It's got a very fast Snarl. It's got access to Sludge Bomb. you're technically neutral to fairy because you're a poison type. It's got a whole lot going for it, and it's really cool. Um, I figured we could touch on a lot of what we think is good, and then maybe do a little bit of team building here.
Sweet. I was actually hoping we could like try to do something here, so I'm excited to see where we go.
I'm currently setting stuff up on the other screen here for us. Let me continue to do this little number here. But yeah, like I know things like Landorus Incarnate are really, really good still. Like you're not going to convince me otherwise that that's not good, right? Like
yeah, I can try to, but
you're not going to.
It's a futile effort. Like I'm not going to get anywhere by trying to.
Just setting things up. Other than like the obvious, like Landorus Eye is really good, the fast Pokemon's really good, Incineroar's still good, things like that. What's something you think would stand out here?
Oh, let's see. It's really awkward because I'm looking here on. Let's see. Showdown doesn't have it sorted by like what's actually playable. They have it sorted by
their Ubers stats. And singles. Yeah, like that's annoying. But I think
which is really annoying because stuff like Victini and Volcanion are OU, so therefore they show up on the list here.
Oh yeah, so all the restricteds are still in this list. All the mythicals are in this list.
I like Melmetal. Can we play Melmetal?
No.
See, I've seen Dragapult running around in a couple games.
Yep, Dragapult's pretty good.
I like Dragapult quite a bit. I've seen a lot of Heatran. Lando Therian's very good. Lando Incarnate is also very good because like Sheer Force is just absurd.
Yeah, Lando Incarnate actually has surpassed Lando Therian in my opinion in these Nomax formats. Just because Sheer Force is just really, really good, right? Like Intimidate isn't as all cracked up as it should be when everything's a special attacker.
Is Aegislash playable?
Not really. You definitely can, but
okay, what's more playable, it or Blaziken?
Probably Aegislash.
Well, dang it.
You could probably get away with Blaziken stuff though. Do you want to build a Blaziken team? We could build a Blaziken team.
I'm in.
Are we building a Blaziken team? Let's do this.
Let's see. Let's put on our focus sash because we're gonna need it.
Yeah, you're gonna want speed boost.
The worst part is even with focus sash, he still just died to opposing Urshifu. So like, Urshifu Water's really good, man.
If you outspeed him, you can just Brave Bird him.
That's very true. The problem is, you don't naturally outspeed them.
No, but speed boost. But you just got to worry about them hitting you through protect, which is why
you can't protect them.
No, you can just follow me instead.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Like you have access to a lot more tools. Actually, you probably just play Thunder Punch.
Honestly, I don't hate Thunder Punch because like the perks of playing Brave Bird was that you had access to max airstream. But like since we're not doing that now. I honestly don't hate like bounce if you need flying coverage because that gives you a turn of protect essentially.
Yeah.
Will-O-Wisp is cool. I don't think we can like reasonably go for like Swords Dance here.
If you want to, so the idea here is if you get rid of your coverage and not worry about your coverage moves as much and just worry about hitting things, you can get away with doing like Swords Dance, Protect, Flare Blitz, Close Combat.
That's true.
I see that happening a lot more as the game becomes a little bit more
focused and like homogenized.
Yeah, like you're gonna be worried more about making your just making sure you're doing damage rather than making sure that you're like you have the super tech coverage move to make sure you have this, like, be able to beat this thing, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So probably max attack Jolly.
That's probably accurate.
Probably put the extra point in special defense, call it a day.
You could probably make an argument because your speed boost, you could be adamant, but 132.
It depends on what do you want to outspeed, right?
132 at +1 gets you to 198, whereas Jolly gets you 145.
Yep.
Wait, nope. 145 times 1.5 gets you to 218.
So we technically probably only want to get to like outspeed Dragapult.
Oh, let's see. It's been a while. 142.
So we need to get to 143.
Yeah, which conveniently 143 is a break point. So we actually gain that naturally. Yeah, which gets us to 215, so we can outspeed Dragapult there. Do we have anything that we're actually worried about coverage-wise to be able to deal with Dragapults?
Not really. We can get to that here in a second when we...
I mean, if we really want to get desperate, we have, like, Shadow Claw.
Yeah, like, if you really want that, you could also just... Like, you're not wanting to leave this thing in front of a Dragapult anyway.
Oh, we also have Night Slash. Is that better coverage? If we really are worried about coverage? So obviously we want Protect.
Yep.
I guess technically Detect. Do we get Detect?
There we go. We get Detect. We get Detect. My current set I have here is Swords Dance, Detect, Close Combat, Flare Blitz.
Do we get any other physical fire moves besides Flare Blitz?
If you want to be able to hit things.
No.
Because
we have like Blaze Kick, but it's 90% accurate.
You have Flame Charge and Fire Punch.
Man. The other downside here is dropping Thunder Punch means that we just have nothing that can hit Feeny for neutral damage either.
Which, that's not something you want to leave Blaziken in against anyway.
Yes, very true, very true. So like just hitting and then getting out of there seems fine. Could have like U-turn, but like that doesn't pair well with like speed boost. We have access to baton pass if we want to do stuff like that, but again, I don't think so.
If you're wanting to baton pass, you're wanting to move last.
Correct. You don't. That's why teleport is so good, is because you're able to take a hit and get out, as opposed to swapping immediately out.
Yep.
Yeah, Sword Stance is probably correct. Close combat, and then probably just Flare Blitz. Are you Sash?
Yes.
Are you sharing your screen by chance?
No, I'm not.
Okay, that's fine.
But yeah, so it's Sash, Speed Boost, Sword Dance, Detect, Close Combat, Flare Blitz, and then it's 252 attack, 236 plus speed, and then 12 in HP, 4 in both the defenses.
Cool.
Kind of just splitting it up. So Blaziken probably wants some kind of redirection, follow me support of some kind. We got some choices here.
Preferably something that like doesn't double up on weaknesses.
Well, a lot of the follow me Pokemon are things like Indeedee, Togekiss, technically Clefairy if you want to play that.
Clefairy does give you extra bulk, which is really interesting of an idea, but like when you're trying to do close combat Flare Blitz, you're not really worried about having extra bulk.
Yep. Indeedee doesn't seem terrible.
I don't hate Indeedee. What if we go... What do we have on the Rage Powder side? Volcarona? That's not very good.
So like, that's going to double up.
That doubles up on water and rock weaknesses.
You could play Amoonguss.
Like, yeah, I don't hate Amoonguss.
The Fungus Amoonguss.
Amoonguss also lets us like have something that can do damage to like opposing Feeny as well.
Yeah, because you can just play Sledge Bomb now.
Yeah, you get Sledge Bomb. You could also play like Grass Knot, because that's not a thing you have to worry about anymore.
Yep.
You get Pollen Puff to be able to heal your ally. Yeah, I think Amoonguss is actually pretty okay here. The question is like, what item do we want? We could be Black Sludge. We could be any of the resist berries of like Aka or Koba. Um,
I currently have Sludge on here, but that could obviously change.
it could also be like Rocky Helmet. Like
Yeah.
there's a ton of things that can really go well here. Obviously, we want Regenerator. We want Rage Powder.
I like the idea of Rocky Helmet.
Okay, slap it on there. Again, things can change, so
Yeah. Grass Knot Spore, Rage Powder, Protect. Super simple.
yeah, Grass
Straightforward.
Knot hits a lot in this format. Sludge Bomb is also not terrible, but like Grass Knot lets you hit Lando neutrally as opposed to being a resisted hit.
Yeah.
You don't hit Naganadel, but that's kind of whatever. You're able to hit like Celesteela instead of having like nothing hit it. Yeah, I think Grass Knot's probably the coverage move we want.
Mm-hmm. Which Blaziken covers that steel issue that we
Correct.
would have if we were playing Sludge Bomb.
Correct. You have a good EV spread off the top of your head for Amoonguss?
My current spread is literally 252, 132, and 124, and the defense is probably going sassy. Probably just min speed.
Makes sense to me.
So we have Blaziken, we have Amoonguss. Probably need a water type. Tapu Fini is the best water type in the game probably right now.
It's kind of a non-bow with Amoonguss, though.
Yeah, like it doesn't play well with the Spore.
And like, I don't want like Pelipper or Politoed here because then like our Flare Blitzes are doing less with Blaziken.
Yeah, you don't want to double up with Urshifu because it's just not going to do anything for you.
Yeah. So then it's like, we could be like Rotom Wash because that doesn't give us a weakness to Eliki.
It's also a ground immunity for your Blaziken to pivot into.
Also true. I don't hate Rotom Wash here.
We can play Rotom.
Also, because like the other thing I was thinking about is like, oh, we could play Gyarados in this slot for our Intimidator, but like, I still don't think Gyarados is very good here because Eliki is just so powerful.
Yeah, you just don't want to play into that hand.
Our Focus Sash is already taken too, so
exactly.
Yeah, I think I like Rotom here.
Playing Thunderbolt, Nasty Plot, Hydro Pump, and probably just Protect.
Probably Citrus Berry here.
Yep, that's what I got. I don't remember the HP values for Rotom off the top of my head.
That would be one I'd had to go. Actually, I might have that easily accessible.
But so you've been playing the old formats. It's probably somewhere.
Yeah, let me pull up my drive here. I just played Rotom on a team. Was it Series 5?
Maybe.
Nope. Series 4. I swear I just played Rotom. Where is it?
Ah.
There we go. 196.
That's close.
76. 156. 476. Don't ask me what those calcs are for. I stole them from the internet.
I'm assuming we're timid.
Modest, actually.
Modest. Okay, so we're slow.
Yeah, we're slow, bulky Rotom.
Alright, that's fine.
Notably, this one is Life Orb without Nasty Plot, so I don't know if that changes your math of what you want to do.
We could be Life Orb. That's fine.
I also think, like, Citrus is probably okay as well.
So the question then becomes, what do we want to play over Nasty Plot?
They were playing Dark Pulse on this one. But again, this is a Series 4 team, so take everything I say with a grain of salt. This is also Rotom Heat, too, so... So, like, again, take everything I'm saying here with a grain of salt.
Yeah, we're gonna just go back to what we were doing.
Okay. We probably don't need all this special attack, and we probably don't need to be modest.
No, like, we're gonna go back and kind of adjust this here. So we're gonna go back to Timid.
Yep.
Since we have Nasty Plot, we don't have to play a ton of special attack. Probably just enough to get a decent number here.
Probably just like our first break point here. It doesn't seem like there is one.
Well, with no nature.
We're neutral. Never mind. I'm dumb.
So what you probably want to do is get your breakpoint in your speed.
That's probably accurate.
Which is 188 investment, and then
there's one at 108, and then one at 188. So it just depends on like how fast you want to be.
Yeah.
Currently, we don't have like any extra form of speed control, so instead of Nasty Plot, we could be like Electro Whip here as well.
I think we want Nasty Plot just because we are citrus.
And like it also combos with Amoonguss, so like we have another thing that could potentially set up. I don't hate that.
There we go. Something like that. Split our defenses 76, 76, 108 in speed, 52 in special attack, and then the 196 in HP. Because we want that even number for Citrus Berry.
Beautiful.
So
okay.
now
we have our Fire Water Grass core.
Yep.
We have like okay answers to a couple different things. I feel like we're kind of still like not great into Lando. Like we have a ground immunity and we have something that like checks it in Rotom, but like the other two of our team are pretty weak to it.
You have Lando. Lando's normally run like Sludge Bomb and Earth Power as like their moves. So Amoonguss is neutral into that. And so Rotom was immune to ground, and so you can kind of play around with some numbers if you really need an ice type. You could probably find one somewhere.
Even just like ice coverage would be fine. We could play like Glastrier here, and then like try to find a Trick Room setter as well, and then we have like a Amoonguss plus Glastrier under Trick Room. Yeah, just having like a slow mode could be fine. Mamoswine could be okay as well, but again, our Sash is already taken. I don't think Alolan Ninetales makes
I know
sense.
what we can do.
Okay.
Scarf Darmanitan.
Oh, yeah, we just get to punch people with the monkey.
Yeah.
That seems like an okay one. I'm not gonna lie.
Probably gonna do Avalanche. Icicle Crash. Do we want the risk of missing? We have Guerrilla Tactics, right? So it's like we get the boost there, and so probably Ice Punch is honestly fine, so you don't have to worry about missing a move.
I believe a majority of them play Icicle Crash, but I'm not sure like what you need the extra damage for versus like 90% accuracy sucks, man.
Yeah, like you don't want to miss.
I really like hitting my moves.
We can play Lash Out because they're going to try and intimidate us probably.
That's interesting.
Lash Out also lets you just blow up certain things. And then we get fire coverage. We could just run Flare Blitz.
I was going to say we get Flare Blitz, Fire Punch. We also get Iron Head, and since we're so absurdly fast, like... I would rather play Rock Slide.
I'm about to say, I think we would rather play Rock Slide in that last slot.
Rock Slide's pretty okay. We could also be U-Turn.
We could probably U-Turn over Lash Out then.
I like that. I like that a lot.
So U-Turn, Ice Punch, Flare Blitz, Rock Slide with Scarf, Guerrilla Tactics, Max Speed, Max Attack, 4 HP investment, just because it makes it an odd number for us.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got a pretty good fast mode. We don't have a real good way of stopping TR if it goes up, but we have a Amoonguss to play in it, so that's not the end of the world.
I do think we want probably something more in those like middle speed tiers, just so like we're not completely dead to Trick Room. Like I mean, our fast mode is really good between like Darmanitan and Blaziken. Darmanitan isn't like the best at checking opposing Urshifu, but like just freeze them. How hard can it be? Just get the 10%.
Yeah, just get the 10%er. Just freeze them. It's fine. You'll be fine.
We need a physical freeze dry. That's what we really need.
No, I don't think we need that. I don't think we need that at all.
Game Freak, my email address is in the show notes. Message me.
So looking for maybe Intimidators or other support, or maybe even like a special attacker outside of Rotom.
Yeah, I do think we're a little weak to Intimidate here.
Trying to think of rock resists here, maybe a steel type.
Could also be Hitmontop. Could be like Crocodile. Could be Hitmontop. We're looking for like specifically Intimidators here that are like resistant to rock. Scrafty is not awful. Scrafty also lets us like play under Trick Room. We also have access to Fake Out there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. I've always been super underwhelmed with Scrafty, even in these like more limited Dex formats.
Yeah.
Could be like Special Salamence. Like that's an Intimidator that like also doesn't like care about being intimidated.
Yeah, but then we just get really bodied by any kind of rock coverage.
That's true. That is true. We already have 2 weak to it.
Like any ground type would fit here. Steel type, fighting type. Crocodile's cool, but I think like without Scarf on it, it's not really gonna.
Yeah, I was gonna say if we don't play Scarf Darmanitan, Scarf Crocodile looks really appealing. The downside there, of course, is like we lose like the reason that we would want to play Darmanitan.
Yeah.
Could be like Eject Button Hitmontop. It's something I've played a lot in the past, and it's not the worst.
It's just you're doubling up on fighting types now.
That is also true.
Indeedee is still very, very good, and Expanding Force is still very, very good.
Yeah, and Hitmontop does like one thing, and it's called priority moves. So, not really in love with that. Let's see. Man, what do we want here?
Yeah, this is where it gets hard because now you got to figure out what do you want, what do you like. You could just play Stack Attacka.
I don't hate Stack Attacka, but that does give us something else that's like not entirely in love with being intimidated.
Yeah, but this
Could
also
be like
gives you
Specs Lele, gives us fairy coverage, gives us psychic terrain. I don't hate Lele here. I don't know really what all it does for us, but it is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Could be either the Lottie twins as well. This is another ground immunity.
Could play Hydreigon.
Ooh, that also is another ground immunity.
Like, it carries Assault Vest really well.
Doesn't, like, immediately doesn't... It does give us another fighting weakness.
But, like, that's fine, I think.
Could be Goltrez. I don't hate Moltres. It does... I mean, again, the problem there is it adds another rock weakness.
Yeah.
I like Hydreigon.
You want to play with Hydreigon?
It could be Life Orb, could be Assault Vest.
Life Orb would definitely let you pick up the KOs that you want to pick up.
How speedy are we? We're 98. That's actually pretty dang fast.
Yeah, we just gotta watch out for specifically Dragapult.
Yeah, which, I mean, we have Darmanitan to punch it in its stupid face.
Yeah, that's
true. We
true.
have Amoonguss to redirect. Redirection doesn't get around Dragon Darts, if I remember correctly.
I don't remember how it works. It's been so long since I've seen...
It has, like, smart AI and won't get redirected or something. I
believe that's right, yeah.
Or, like, one hit... I don't remember. I like Hydreigon. Let's punch some people with some dragons. The big question is, like, what do we want set-wise? Like, we have decent bulk. We don't currently have any fairy... like, other fairy weaknesses on the team. It's like, we could be Assault Vest here. Could be Life Orb. I think it's one of those two for sure. The question is, like, what do we want to do with it?
So if we go Assault Vest, we can do, like, Dark Pulse, Earth Power, Draco Meteor, and Flash Cannon.
Do we actually have access to Thunderwave, or is that...
Well, for Assault Vest, we can't use it.
That I'm just asking more in general. Because Spikemuth doesn't always have, like, accurate movesets. You have to go actually in and validate it.
Yeah.
But it says it's valid. Tailwind isn't valid, though, right?
Yeah, Tailwind is not on a Hydreigon.
Okay, cool. But we do get Thunderwave, so that is an extra form of speed control if we want it. Is that worth losing the extra bulk of Assault Vest, though? Probably not. We get Breaking Swipe, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Get Helping Hand, but I don't think that's worth losing our Assault Vest either. We get Snarl. Snarl's actually an interesting support move here. But, like, what are we trying to snarl down in this format?
Not a lot.
We get Focus Blast, correct? So, like, that gives us a...
You get Focus Miss if you really want it.
I mean, I guess we also have Earth Power.
Yeah, that's the big thing. Is this is a Pokemon with Earth Power. It's another ground immunity because it has Levitate. Current set I have is Life Orb with Dark Pulse, Earth Power, Dragon Pulse, and Protect.
Oh, you're playing Dragon Pulse over Draco. Interesting.
With the Life Orb boost, we want to stay on the field as long as possible.
That's probably correct. So I'm looking here at Assault Vest, and I think if I was to do this, we would want like Flash Cannon or Flamethrower in that last slot.
Flash Cannon for sure. Flash Cannon for sure.
Earth Power, Dark Pulse, Dragon Pulse. If we're AV, we probably want Draco.
Yeah, if you're AV, you want Draco Meteor. If you're Life Orb, you probably want Dragon Pulse. This also could just be Naganadel.
That one does carry a Life Orb really well too. How fast is Naganadel?
Base 121.
121. Holy cow!
Like this one's also much easier to figure out, like number wise.
Yeah, let's play with this thing.
All right.
So we want Protect. I'm assuming we're Life Orb because why wouldn't we be?
Yep.
I mean, AV on base 73 special defense gives us non-zero amount of bulk. I just don't think we need it.
So this one you would probably run Snarl.
Holy cow, we are fast.
We'll run Snarl, Draco Meteor, Sludge Bomb.
I mean, we could also have... Man.
And Protect.
This is not a Pokemon I have ever... Like, I could not tell you the last time I looked at this. We get Thunderbolt?
Yep. Sludge Bomb is just better.
Yeah, I mean, yes. We get Snarl. We get... Oh, man, this thing is cool.
Yeah. Ultra Beasts are cool, bud.
We get Ally Switch?
Yep. The big thing to remember here is this is another ground weakness.
That is true.
So you'll want to make sure you outspeed opposing Landorus I.
How fast does Lando I get?
Base 101.
I mean, we can just play max speed. Like,
yeah. And hope that they're not Scarf.
Yeah.
That's kind of
the line. I mean, if they're Scarf, they're going to outspeed us regardless. So.
Yeah.
Man.
But that's why we have Rotom and our last slot to fill in.
We also get Heat Wave to check opposing Steel types as well.
Yeah.
Man, this thing is cool.
So the last Pokemon should probably be a flying type, just by the way we're panning out here.
Yeah, do we have a flying type that's not weak to ground? I mean, not weak to rock. Like, the first thing that comes to mind is Lando.
Landorus, both Therian and Incarnate. There's Celesteela.
Therian kind of checks, like, all the boxes we're missing of, like, Intimidator, not immune, like, not weak to rock, immune to ground. Like, it kind of checks all the boxes I'm kind of looking for here.
Yeah. It also kind of just holds an Assault Vest. Like, you can just slap Assault Vest on it, be bulky.
Could also be Lum. Like, Lum with Swords Dance is not the dumbest thing. I don't know if we need Lum, though.
This is probably not going to be a physical Landorus Therian, to be honest.
Yeah, that's true.
If I was to play this, I would literally play the special set that you see on Landorus Eye with Earth Power and Sludge Bomb. But then you can just, like, if you're wanting to play whatever item, you can, like, throw rocks. You can play,
Yeah, for AV, like, AV special, we get, like, Grass Knot and Psychic?
yeah.
Or Extrasensory. Probably Psychic. Could also have, like, Weather Ball, but we're not doing weather things here, so it's really dependent on your opponent doing stuff, and I think that's just bad.
Yeah.
So Grass Knot lets us check Urshifu,
Waterfoo specifically, and
yeah,
Feeny.
Waterfoo and Feeny. Psychic doesn't let us hit Dark Foo, so like that doesn't give us any extra coverage there. So the question is like, what is our last coverage move here if we are Assault Vest?
I'm not
Probably
sure.
just Rock Slide, right? Earth Power,
Probably.
Sludge Bomb. Do we need flying coverage?
Not really. If you're playing Sludge Bomb, no.
Let's see. Rock Slide.
Your other option here in this last slot is like AV Celesteela.
That thing is really bulky last time I checked.
Like I said, Intimidate's not super important in this format. Like, it's still good. Like, Incineroar is still really good, right? But the fact that you see people are playing, like, Landorus Eye and things like that means that Intimidate's not always going to be needed, and what's more important is, like, Fake Out.
Yep.
So, like, AV Celesteela fits this theme really well. You can do, like, both physical and special if you want to. In my opinion, special's better. You get, like, Flamethrower, Air Slash. You could also play, like, the Lefty set, the Stall set.
That's really interesting.
With, like, Leech Seed.
Could technically also be Power Herb, Meteor Beam things.
In a non-max format, that's not as great.
That's very true. I think the Lefties set adds in like an extra dimension to our team.
So let's go Air Slash, or not Air Slash, Where is Iron Defense, Air Slash, Leech Seed, and Pride Protect as the last move?
Do we need Iron Defense?
Iron Defense is going to help you against the more physical teams. Things that are, like, going to be trying to break you, because you literally can just invest in your special defense in this team, on this Pokemon, and whatever you want to go up to be your bonus stat, you'll be able to do it, right?
Yeah, for sure. We don't get access to Toxic this gen, right?
No.
Do we want Wide Guard for any particular reason?
Not really.
Okay. This team's really cool.
Probably play max defenses, get as close to even as we can.
I think with Iron Defense, we can try to get the Beast Boost into Special Defense here.
That's what I'm doing.
Okay.
So 244 HP puts you at 203, 172 defense, and then 92 calm puts you at 146. Special defense gives you that special defense boost on KOs.
Interesting.
Right? It's real cool.
I have no idea if this team's good. But it's very cool.
Yeah, it is definitely a interesting team nonetheless.
It is definitely a team that exists.
So I think this is a good, like, foray into looking at what Spikemuth is, kind of how this works. Because I think this is what people are going to be playing at least until Scarlet and Violet come out, and probably well in through Scarlet and Violet up until we get enough people who've beaten the game to play on ladder, right? Because that's going to be the big thing is like, if we don't have home support immediately,
which we won't,
we might, but it's not very likely.
I'm going to put all my eggs in the basket of no, we're not. But
I don't remember if like Gen 6 and Gen 7 had immediate bank support.
I genuinely don't remember.
That's a question for somebody else. I don't know that one off the top of my head.
Who I bet does know? Internet.
Probably. But anywho, say go back to our beautiful faces here. Hello everyone, we're back.
Let's see. Sun and Moon got bank support on January 25th, 2017.
So
when did Sun and Moon release?
I think it released November of the previous year.
November 2016. So I mean,
so
3 months, 4 months.
So
2 months?
we'll get home support probably right when competitive starts.
That would be the hope, right?
That's what that tells me right there, is because that was about the time the rollover probably happened from whatever into Sun and Moon.
Man, I'm so glad I have my 6IV Ditto I get to bring over.
Well, breeding's not the same, Carter.
I mean,
we don't even know how it works yet. We gotta wait until we get the game.
That's true, but like, I don't know, just having my baseline Ditto I think is always just going to be super important.
We have what? How many days? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. A little under 8 weeks going in. So 2 months.
Let's see. We have 54 days, 6 hours, 47 minutes, and 15 seconds as of right now.
So about 2 months, roughly.
Yeah, a little less than 2 months, but yeah.
Yeah. So get your Sword and Shield, not your Sword, your Scarlet and Violet pre-orders in now, if you haven't yet.
I already did. I went and did it this week.
I heard you got forced to.
Well, you're not incorrect.
So my thought process is I'm not sure if I'm going to want to do a midnight release for like GameStop or anything. So at that point, do I want to wait for it to come in the mail? I haven't pre-ordered mine yet. I pre-ordered the OLED Switch that's coming out for it, but I haven't pre-ordered the games yet because I haven't determined whether I want to wait, if I want to like pick them up the night of at like Walmart, or wait until I get off work the next day and then go pick them up. Haven't figured it out yet.
Luckily for me, I'm off that next day anyway.
Yeah, I'm not.
So I can stay up partying as late as I want. I am off the 18th, so I can stay up as late as I want, playing it into the bright early hours of the morning. Play all day, go to bed, and go to work.
Yeah.
And I'm supposed to be getting an extra week of vacation. I'm really hoping I can take it that next week and then just take a personal day of the 19th, and then I have a whole week to play. In reality, I doubt that happens because that next week is Thanksgiving, and I'm sure someone already has it off.
100%. 100% somebody already has it. Like, it's Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I mean, you say that, but I don't know. Who cares?
You about ready to get out of here, bud?
Out. I'm ready to go eat dinner, so yes.
So yeah, I gotta go do the same.
So, I think it's about time we go ahead and call it a day.
Sounds good.
All right. As always, everyone, thank you so much for watching. If you're listening on any of the audio podcasts, make sure you leave us that 5-star review. If you're listening over here on YouTube, make sure you like and comment down below. Hit the subscribe button, ring that bell, all that good stuff. It really does help us push ourselves into all the algorithms. You can always go ahead and follow us over on Twitter as well at our LR Lessons, myself at Mr. Missouri 25, Carl is at Musical VGC. You can follow Carl and I both on Twitch as well at Mr. Missouri 25 and at Musical. You can always come hang out with us on our community Discord, where you get to hang out and talk to everyone in the community. I think we're up over just under 650 members now, which is like just absurd.
Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah, like never in a million years thought we would get that far, and here we are. So that's cool. And I think we're closing into like 500 YouTube subs as well. Like if we could hit that, I'd be extremely happy.
We're at 430 something.
Yeah, I mean that's way closer to 500 than we are 0. So
exactly.
So yeah, obviously, I love when the numbers go big, so make them continue to go big.
Yep.
Let's see. Community Discord, you can go check out the website at lrlessons.com. While you're over there, go check out the merch page. We might have new merch going up at some point in the near future that you probably want to get involved in when it does.
Yeah. I don't know when it'll happen, but sure.
Eventually, maybe. And of course, if you are not interested in supporting us through merch for some reason, but you still want to support us financially, you can always do that through Anchor support. Those links are down in the show notes as always. Make sure you go and check that out. For as little as 20 or 25 cents an episode, you can help us. And, we really do appreciate everyone who does.
Yep.
So I think that's it. I think I've hit everything.
I think that's it.
Cool. And with that, everyone, thank you so much. Have a fantastic day, and we will see you next week. Have a good one. Peace.